Hello, my name is Patricia Garcia, and I am a middle school teacher. I teach math school in Salinas. And I was asked to provide some tips for people going into the classroom who have never had experience with students. Well, you're in for a great surprise because middle school students can be scary for some people, but they're a lot of fun. So here are some of my personal tips for how to work with students. Number one, start with team building activities to build trust and community. It's really important for you to have a feel of, in the classroom, of community, of team building, of like you're a family. Because if they feel comfortable with each other and they feel comfortable with you, students will go out of their way to do their best work with you. So that's my first bit of advice. My second one is to be consistent with everything that you do. All those eyes are on you, how your tone, how you dress, how you address people. So they see right through us. And as I said right here, they want consistency because they don't have it, and they're very big on people being fair to them. So please be consistent with everything that you do and say. Also, be confident in your abilities. I can understand how it can be nervous being in front of students, but they're eager to learn and to try new things. So be confident, and you might have a quirky idea that somebody might think is not that great, but you know what? You don't know if it's going to work until you try it. And if it didn't work the way you wanted it to, you can always adjust and modify it, okay? And number 4, so important. Model, and more modeling when you're delivering instructions and lessons. Students need to be, they need to practice anything that you want them to do. When I first started teaching, I would ask them to please be quiet, and they thought they were being quiet, but they weren't being quiet for me. We both had different perspectives. So teach them how to walk into the classroom, teach them how to sharpen a pencil. However, the way you want it, you need to teach them how to do it. So I'm going to give you 2 examples so it can give you an understanding. One of them is Give Me 5, and that's what I use to get their attention. And the other one is Directions to iExcel. iExcel. It's a computer program that we use to learn math. So it's very detailed, and I model with them. I show them on the screen. I go over every single part. So it's really important to show them visuals is so important. And then the last thing I would like to say, especially working with middle school students, is teach in chunks. My students are typically 12, 13 years old. So what I do with them is I have 10-minute instruction as far as direct instruction, and then I stop, and then I give them like 5 to 8 minutes to work on an activity that goes along with the lesson, and then I bring them back. So we go back and forth, and this way it breaks up the day or the hour, and it makes teaching fun and learning fun, because then they start drifting off and not paying attention. So they need to be involved in their learning. Okay, so let me show you what I'm talking about when it comes to Give Me 5. So if I want their attention, I want it quiet, I want to hear the pin dropping. Give Me 5 is this poster that I have. And number 1, I expect all students to have eye in the speaker. Number 2, I need their mouths to be closed. And number 3, I need their body to face the speaker. And I want their hands free, no pencils, nothing in the hands that's distracting. And then the last thing I ask for is that their ears are listening. So this is a poster, and when I raise my hand with a 5, and I say, Give me 5, these are all the things that I'm looking for. And at the beginning, it might feel a little weird. It might feel very elementary school, but I use this even in high school and in college. It's just really quick. Please give me 5. And then they all do all these 5 things instantly. But it takes practice. But remember, when you are practicing, make sure that you let them know what they're doing correctly. As far as another example that I have here is how to log into iExcel, which is a math program that I have at school that we use. So here's my directions. You go to the student portal, you click on here, it takes them there. Here, they're going to have to log in through Google. And so this is what their icon looks on their student screen. And then I have a picture of the app they're going to click on, and that's show them exactly where to go. So as you can see, it's very step by step. So this is an example for directions, but it is very important that whatever you're doing, that you show examples and you model and you have visuals, so they know exactly what you're looking for, and that way they won't get lost and you won't get frustrated, because it's like a recipe. You need to show them exactly what goes into the recipe of what you want them to do. And then I'm including this article that I found, because I was writing my list, and I said, you know what, I like this article the best. Like, what would I tell people how to teach middle school students? So I really like this article. I hope you please take time to read it. Again, like I mentioned before, communicating with middle school students, it says right here to divide your lesson into chunks. It's research based, and I've been doing that for at least 20 years, and it works wonders. So that's number one on their list. And also, limit the time of your lecture. I know that we want to just talk to them, but learning is not going on when all you do is talk to them. And if you think about it, what kind of classes did you enjoy? You enjoy the classes that you get to interact with one another, with other students, with a teacher. You get to build something. So try not to talk the whole time. And please read this article. It's really great. Again, teaching with visuals, it goes a long way. I work with English language learners, and visuals is very important, especially SPED students. And I'm a visual learner, so I really appreciate the fact that when I have classes, that my teachers, professors show me models of things what we're going to be doing. Also, build in your students' voice into the lesson. Have them talk to each other. I really like the think, pair, share method, and they can share with the class. Reflection. It's really important to hear their voice about their own learning, and you get to learn from them too. They have a lot of important things to share. Number 5. Value your students' emotions. Ever since COVID, our students are more emotional, and they need and they give us cues in the classroom. So just keep in mind that sometimes their emotions are not allowing them to learn, or just keep in mind that their students come with different emotions in the classroom, and sometimes we need to address those. If you're working with a teacher, let them know, hey, this student seems distracted. So the teacher is aware and they can take care of that part. What else? You see, keep your lessons diverse. Make them fun. I know that's important for them to learn, but also think about what's the main thing you want them to learn, and how can you make it fun and interesting instead of just talking to them about it. Number 7 is build up time for reflection. It's really important. A lot of teachers forget to do this. At the end of the lesson, they just stop and the bell rings and they run. But build yourself at least 5 to 8 minutes at the end of the lesson for them to reflect on their learning. This is crucial for their learning, and it's really interesting when you get to read their insight of their learning, and you can help them even more by the questions they may have or things they didn't understand. This is number 8. Ask why as much as possible. When you're asking for an answer to a question that you may have, don't just say, yes, that's right. No, that's not right. Ask them why they think that. If they give you an answer, why can you explain? Can you give me more detail? Why is that your opinion? Or why do you think the answer is 23? How did you get there? So ask those probing questions. So this is my little short view of teaching middle school. Of course, it's so much detail than that, but like I said, the tips that I've given you, I know they're going to help you, because it's what I use every single day. And when I work with new teachers, it's what I do to help them. I get the information to help them. So I hope you have a great time with teaching middle school students. And again, model, be consistent, build that community base, be confident in yourselves, and definitely teach in chunks. And I wish you great success, and thank you for your time, and just have fun.